Bloody hell. Okay, so before I do any work, I need to tidy my flaming desk. Okay, let's get this tidied first, then we can do stuff. Okay, this is somewhat more like it, isn't it? Okay, right, let's have a look at these little bad boys. Yo, boys and girls, welcome back to the new Iron Horse Railways modelling room of destiny. Now we're going to talk about the Heljan Class 02, which came out fairly recently, as I'm sure you're all very much aware, but also our friends over at MODELU. Now, MODELU are known for making fantastic custom little figures for many of the most popular model railway scales, including 4mm or 00 scale, which is what yours truly models in. It's only a proper scale, let's be honest. The chaps there wanted to send me the crew they have made for the Class 02. Now there's two types of crew they have made, a late BR and an industrial one, so we're going to look at both of them. So I'm going to paint them up and then we're going to try and fit them to the model and see just what difference that makes to the model and if they actually do fit. And I might offend everyone, but then there'd be nothing new there, would there? Anyway, let's go to the modelling desk and see what's up. Okie dokie, here we are on the modelling desk. Excuse the pre-lit cigar, that's for my reward for later on. And we've got some cars on the screen. So here we are. We have the Late Crest BR set, the industrial set, and we have a spare of the Class 02 Late BR crew, which, to be honest with you guys, I'm going to give away. So if you're interested in winning this little set, it's in 00 gauge. Stay tuned to the end to find out how you can be in with a chance of winning this packet. We'll put this over here carefully out of the way so it's nice and safe. Now, we're going to start by taking a look at the industrial kit. Well, that's the one I'm going to be using first. And even though I've taken the liberty of putting these out of the sprue, they actually do balance and stand up pretty well if you can put them on like a flat surface. So let's just try this here. There we are. And as you can see, oh, it's making me look bad now. They will stand up on their own. There you go. Splendid. So, not that that has any, relevance, because you're probably going to stick that down, aren't you? So, I'm not sure what colour we should paint this chap. Now, it says industrial. So, and I've got the yellow Class 02. So I reckon we're going to go for a Heritage Railway industrial look for this chap. So we're going to have the blue overalls and possibly a brown cap on there, and black boots and what have you, and something similar for the driver, who's terribly disabled. He has no legs. I'm not sure I still have the seats in my Class 02 installed, so I'll have to make sure that I've actually got somewhere to sit this chap, but we'll worry about that later on. So I'm not going to bore you with the painting process. I use Vallejo paints, so these ones here. There are many paints available, so I tend to use MIG and Vallejo and a little bit of Humbrol as well. This flesh tone is fantastic, by the way. I'm sure you've all got your own preferences for like a general white flesh tone, but this for me is the best one, and this is the one that I do use. So without further ado, I'm going to crack on with this. I'll show you some painting highlights, guys, and then I'll show you the finished models. And actually, this is also the Late BR crew, and this chap's got quite a nice jacket, so just to be wily, I might combine the two. I might have the industrial chap doing the driving and the Late BR chap doing the shunting and thingy, because I suppose that's part of the actual hobby, isn't it? Yes, these are designed for the quote-unquote the BR Class 2, but at the end of the day, that is a figure holding a shunter's pole, posing his hand, so you could have him anywhere, and I think that's part of the creativity involved within the hobby, and it's important to remember that. So I would absolutely like to see whoever wins the spare one being creative with their model and show me exactly what you can do with it. Anyway, let's get cracked on and get some paint on these buggers, shall we? And I must admit, after many years of doing modelling and real modelling in general, I never used to like painting little figures because it's fiddly, and I am not built for small, intricate and fiddly work. However, now, once I'm actually sat down at the desk and I'm nice and comfortable, I actually really enjoy the painting process when it comes to painting small little figures like this. Maybe not so much with buildings, but certainly with stuff like this, it's great. I mean, I think that builds on the whole weathering thing that I also enjoy doing. The important thing with this is making sure you use small brushes, and as you can see, I've got my little figure on a end of a, well, it's a drill bit really, with a bit of blue tack. The reason I did this is I had like a little bit of bamboo, which I normally use, but having it stuck on the end of a bamboo or a pen or a pencil or a drill bit in this case, lets you maneuver the figure around the place, lets you manipulate it so you can get your brush into all the nooks and crannies, and it lets you get a decent bit of coverage. But don't panic about getting it perfect, because when we put the wash on at the end, that will sort of fill in any minor niggles and problems, if you will. And now, very importantly, make sure you stop and have a break halfway between the process. Maybe a cheeky cigar. Anyway, back to the task at hand. I like to make sure that I've got all the figures I want to paint out in one go, because when I've got the blue mixed up or the brown mixed up, I don't want to have to try and guess again about the blend I've used. So any particular colour I make slight alterations to it and slight adjustments to it from figure to figure, because nothing's ever really exactly the same, is it? So maybe one coat will be slightly thinner and then gone over with a neater base colour, or a lighter highlight colour, either way. And then of course, like I mentioned earlier, the wash does add a lot of extra detail at the end there. So it's important to keep that bit in mind as well. Now, rightly or wrongly, I tend to leave flesh tones at the end, because you can then change the tone of the person and the individual, because everyone's skin is different colour. Now, once you've got that wash on there, you really want to let it dry properly, because you don't want to start handling it, because the paint will now be wet again. And if you handle it, you get paint on your fingers, and you're going to have to go around and touch them back up again where misses. Once you're happy that they're dried and you've not missed any bits and pieces, remember, if you can't see the model, the part of the model, then don't panic about the paint being super perfect. You're never going to see it, especially if it's inside a cab. So don't like fret yourself to death over that. But certainly for the shunters, they're going to be on display and they're going to be able to be seen. So do make sure, if your model's outside of a cab, you do pay particular attention. And I didn't have any new 000 brushes at all. As you all know, I moved house recently and I lost a lot of my decent brushes in the move. Plus I need to get some more anyway, because my brush kit is terrible. So I go through brushes like I go through underpants, one pair every 6 weeks. So new brushes are definite. Now these are almost dry. I'm going to get the Class 02, tip the body off, which is just like 3 screws, and then I'm going to fit the crews. And for the spare crew, they're going to get a go as well, but I'm going to put them on a different locomotive just to show you guys how you can actually make the most of them, even though they're not made for that particular model. Let's go have a look. Getting the body off is really easy. It's just 3 screws. You've got one underneath the bonnet catch there, and you've got 2 by these little tanks on the side there. Just gently screw them off, and then the body will just pull away nice and gently. Easy. Now, as you can see, boys and girls, that was very easy to do. Inside there, we've got the DCC Concepts Next 18 decoder with the Stay Alive fitted there. You can just see how I fit the Stay Alive between the 2 cabs. But the good news is I didn't take the seats away, so I can fit a driver splendidly. Now, you could glue this down, and that's a choice. Personally, I would recommend using a little bit of black tack. And you do not need much of this stuff because it is properly good. I'm talking maybe that much there. So we'll select your driver. I think we'll have this chap here with his little hoodie on. I like his hoodie. And then we're just gonna place him sort of there on the seat. And his hand just sits nicely at the controls. Look, that's really cool. Make sure he's sat down there properly. Jolly good. So that's the hard part over. Make sure he's on there properly. Then we can pop the body back on. There's plenty of space in there to sound fit this as well. So if that's something you could thought about doing, then you certainly can do. And he's now in the cab there, just doing this thing with loads of wires around him. You can just about make him out there with the light flashing. But anyway, he's in there. I'm going to get the body back on now, and then we can choose a shunter. Also, a little tip for you: the cover for the bonnet screw on the Heljan little 02 there It just sort of slots in here, but I've found it does sometimes just of its own volition come free. So I just put a tiny bit of black tack on the back of the lamp assembly there, and then when I pop that back in, that's back in there now. So shunter with a few different options here. Now, I don't think you'd really have more than one shunter per locomotive, so you've got a few options there. We can either put him there, we're going to make him stand whatever, or we could even have him jauntily on the steps like that perhaps, or we could have this chap standing maybe there, and his hand actually does grab that grab rail rather nicely, so I think we'll probably put him in there maybe. 90% that chap as well could also go in there. I'm going to try to be delicate with these because they are still a little bit damp. Actually, he goes in there quite nicely as well. So what we'll do, a little bit of black tack on the feet. Not a lot, just a little bit, because you can always move them then if you decide you want to swap them around or whatever, you can do. I think you can get some stuff called tacky wax from Deluxe Materials, which is a very, very mild adhesive, which essentially does the same thing, I believe. So let's get him on there. I thought we might even better take that little bit of black tack off that foot there. And then really is just a case of adjusting until you're happy with the positioning. There we are, like that. Okay, let's get them on the layout. Let's see how they look rolling by. And we'll find a home for this chap as well. This chap will stay in reserve until I need another locomotive to fit him to as well. Okay, over to the layout. That's right, it's time for the sponsors advert. Yes, of course, it is Sawyer Models of Lee. Why go anywhere else when you can get everything you need right here? They have rolling stock, accessories, scenic items, tools, whatever it is you need to build a banging model railway, they can absolutely supply it. And I should know because I've been going to them for quite a while now, and I've got everything I've needed from them. You can either buy from them from their website, or you can go in store for superb customer service. Remember guys, visiting Sawyer Models really does help me out, so if you can, please do so, and do your part to keep helping support small, local, independent model railway stores. We need them now more than ever. And the moment you've all been waiting for, how they actually look on the model themselves. And let's be honest, they do look properly good. And I think every credit is due to the chaps at MODELU with the work and effort they put into each and every single one of their custom crew packs. And of course their 3D printing in general is top notch, and their scanning solution is just space age. So if you're ever at a show guys, do get yourself scanned. You can be on your own layout wearing anything you want. Just get the clothes with you, and they've even got like a load of wardrobe stuff you can try on at a lot of shows too, so it's worth doing. And what I've done here is just pop the spare shunter on the Heljan Class 05 there, just to show what you can do. I know his hand's not holding anything, but perhaps he's signalling to the driver or a friend. Anyway, let's look at some nice close-up pictures of this wonderful custom crew. And there we have it. What a lovely little addition to the Class 02 those figures are. And you can position him in different places. I think the front step is the intended place, but you know me, I very rarely do what I'm told and do things properly. But it does go to show you that you can position these figures pretty much wherever you like, and they still look damn fine as well. Now, at the beginning of the video, I promised you good people a chance to win a set of these figures. All you need to do is pop over to the Iron Horse Railways Facebook page. There you will find a post relating to this video. All you need to do is leave a comment underneath that post letting me know why you would like one of the Model U figures for your Class 02. In a week's time from the posting date of this video, I will announce the winner. It's as simple as that. I'm going to pick what I think the best reason is, so be creative. And also, I want to see pictures of what you get up to with the figure as well. Just keep it PG. Okay. Right, thanks very much for watching, boys and girls. Don't forget you can get yourself 3D scanned by Model U at a show as well, so do keep an eye out for them there. I've got myself scanned and a few other people have as well, so you can check the Model U site out for those. Heljan have got plenty of the O2s abound, and of course you can also look at your local retailers as well. Sawyer Models can get them for you too, so do check him out for your Heljan requirements. Right, go on, off with you. I'm off to go have a pint. Take care, bye-bye.